Shalom Aleichem. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah through His Son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother UncleK, and we're back with another one. I hope you're having a Baruch day, and I hope right now you have a sound mind and a sound heart. Now, before we get into the content, like the content, share the content, and comment down below. And if you're not a supporter, then become a supporter right now. I just advise you to tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. So let's get into it. It's extremely pivotal that the man paces himself. When you pace yourself, especially as a set-apart man, your strength is going to be consistent. And I know that the man, he wants to feel strong consistently. Because when you start feeling that increase, that vitality, that vigor coursing through your body, and your mental is feeling extremely sharp. At times you may want to go at things 1,000 miles per hour, but it's wise that you slow down and take your time and pace yourself, so that way you can get the quality out of things. See, when you rush after things and you want to go 1,000 miles per hour towards things, you're not resting properly. You see, this body still needs rest. Even if you're doing Kodesh things, set apart things, your body still needs rest. You see, your mind and your body, it could be on both different times. You see, the mind must always stay sharp, but the body needs rest. And when the body is moving at a steady pace and is having a steady increase in course of strength, then the mind will always stay sharp. When you go at things 1,000 miles per hour, that's when flatlines start coming in. And we know that if your heart is not set in the right place and you fall into a flatline, then you can fall into some sort of iniquity if your heart is not in the right place. So it's wise that every man, every set-apart man, paces himself in a way that he's going after quality and not quantity. You see, in a major reference I can always give, which is simple, is the way that you train. Right? You see, for me, for instance, I do full body every day, every other day, pardon me. I don't go crazy with my sets. I may do 5 to 6 sets per body part every other day. And depending how I feel, I may take 2 days off just to get that extra recovery if needed. But I'm already going at it every other day, so I'm not taxing my body every day. So that way I can grow. I can continue to consume quality foods to refuel my body. See, your life have to be balanced on an equal scale, right? You just can't be 1,000 miles per hour going at everything in your life, but it's not balanced. And I know when you're feeling that increase of vitality, a lot of men feel as though that they gotta go train every single day. They gotta do something every single day. Yes, you have to do something every single day. But when you keep it on a spiritual plane and you balance out that physical, things will all fall in line. Just speaking off of experience. Because it's been an extremely long time that I've gotten a flatline. And in my earlier stages, I remember I used to go to the gym sometimes twice a day to train. And that will give you an extreme amount of mental fatigue, and that's not what you want, because that's where the flat lines come in. You see, a flat line is not because your body is trying to go back into its old state. Because once you put away the iniquities and you start doing the right things, you start calculating your steps, you start pacing yourself properly, the body is not trying to revert back into its old self. Right? We don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities and wickedness in high places. So you don't wrestle against your own body. You got to know how to control this body, have this body in submission. But when you're doing things at a rate that's kind of unnatural, then you can crash out. You could burn out. That's why you got to pace yourself. And that's what everything that you got going on for yourself. When a man is going after wisdom every single day, eventually the man might start grieving. Like, that's in the book of Ecclesiastes. I believe it's the first chapter or the third. Somewhere around there it speaks about that. And them scriptures is not lying. Because when you at it all day and night, and you examining everything and you going at it, you not trying to take no time to rest and to recuperate and to find joy in other righteous activities, then eventually you're gonna burn out. It's very wise that the man paces himself. You see, this world doesn't know what a steady pace is because their pace is only fast. They want it quick. They want it right now. They want that dopamine right now. They need that right now. You know, they promote that you gotta have that money, right? You gotta have that woman right now. Right? You gotta have that bag right now. You gotta have that status right now. And the set apart man, he's not worried about that because he already got that status. When you pace yourself, you look different. You move different. Because you're getting quality. Back to the training. When you pace yourself, when you train, you're getting quality reps. You have that connection to the muscle because you're taking your time. You're taking your time lifting that weight and bringing it down. You're taking your time. You're not speeding through your workout. Right? You're taking your time building that quality body. Taking care of that temple. You building that body. Right? You're taking your time when you chew your food so you could digest it properly. You take your time when you read them scriptures so you could absorb and digest that food that's in that word. Gotta take your time. Because when you feel like you know everything and you feel like you want it all right now, you're bound to fall. You're bound to fall. And a lot of men fall when they try to take on this righteous, holistic lifestyle practice. A lot of them fall because they get real high-minded. And when you get real high-minded, you want to go after everything thinking that you're the man now. You see, that's pride. And pride is the beginning of the fall. There's nothing wrong with you feeling good. But you got to be humble. You got to be content. Right? When you're feeling good, you pace yourself. You don't be rushing after things. Right? You're not rushing after nothing in this world. You know that the Most High provided everything for you. He's sustaining you right now. Some doors may close, other doors may open. You pace yourself through all these doors that He's opening for you so you can be very calculated. Your steps are already being ordained, so why would you want to rush the Most High's timing? Because you want to do something on your timing. Why? See, a lot of men, when they get on that first 30 days, you know, they get hit with that flatline because them first 30 days, you know, they was going after so many things without knowing directly what they wanted to do. They didn't really have a vision. They just said, you know what? It increases testosterone on the 7th day. Let me go to the gym every day. Let me do this. Let me do that every day. right? Let me watch 1,000 different semen retention videos every single day where I'm getting flooded with dopamine. That's why you gotta be careful. You definitely gotta be careful in that avenue as well too, because that could lead to an extremely deep flat line. If you're sitting on your back watching a bunch of semen retention videos of men talking sweet messages and talking that comfortability, right? That's only letting you know about benefits, right? Inevitably, that's gonna lead to a flatline because you flooding yourself with stuff that you already know, but you're wasting dopamine because you already know these things, but you're going at it in a sense just to get that pick me up and that clarification that you should already have for yourself as a man, right? You see the type of information you should be getting, the type of content you should be tapping into is content where you're steady learning, you're steady being exhorted, right? That exhortation, somebody is constantly lifting you up. That's the type of content you need to listen to when you're a set apart man, not something where somebody is trying to make you feel good. And a lot of men, they fall into that bracket. A lot fall into that bracket. They waste their time searching after a million different people talking the message in their ears, and now they listening to so many people instead of having a small amount of people in their corner that you could rely on. You see, when a man paces himself and a man knows things, he's learning things, he's really evaluating himself, he's doing that self-introspection, then he's gonna know that he need to slow it down. It's not wise that you in daytime traffic and it's a green light and that light turned yellow. It's not wise for you to speed up and try to eat that yellow light, especially if you're a little distance away from that light. That means you need to slow down. You need to put your foot on that brake and ease it to stop at that stop. But a lot of times, men don't listen when their body and their mind is giving them that yellow light, saying, hey man, you need to slow down a little bit. You know, they just psychologically, they rewired their brains to think that they gotta go after it nonstop, that rest is not important. Pacing yourself is not important. So their minds and their bodies be giving them that yellow light all the time. And then they get hit with a flat line. And then now they're watching a million different videos of how to get over flat lines and what to do for flat lines. Right? Even when you overwork yourself, that leads to wet dreams as well too. Because the body is in like fight or flight mode because you're not resting. You're not pacing yourself. Right? You get to a point where you can handle the load, you can handle the demand. But when you start doing it in an unnatural way, when you're not even ready for it, it takes years. It takes years for a man that has been building himself to know what he can handle and what he cannot handle. And a lot of men, they can't really handle it. And we see that. A lot of times we see a lot of men can't handle it. And when you look at yourself and you realize that you can't handle it, that means that you can't handle yourself. And every man, he needs to know how to handle himself properly, not handle himself sexually. Save that for your wife. I stated no man should take care of himself if he doesn't have a wife. Right? If he doesn't have a wife, the man should not even be taking care of himself sexually. Right? But spiritually, mentally, logically, the man, he needs to know how to handle himself, how to move properly. Right? When you pace yourself, you're going to have that steady increase in strength. You're going to feel that vitality rising every single day. Pace yourself. Right? Don't speed up all the time. It's a time and a place to go at things at a certain pace, but everything else have to be balanced. So you really have to do self-introspection to really find out how you need to move, at what speed you need to move at. Okay, a lot of people listen to a lot of different men telling them so many different stories and telling them all these experiences that they're going through, but they're not giving you that solid food. You need solid food. As a spiritually minded man, a set apart man, you need solid food. right? You get that food through the Most High. You get that food through the scriptures. And there's a lot of other brothers out here that dropping that food, giving y'all that food, giving y'all that information, giving y'all that upliftment. Man, y'all gotta eat that. Seriously, y'all gotta eat that for real. When you pace yourself, you're gonna see yourself, you're gonna start growing much faster. You're gonna pace yourself and you're gonna get that quality. It's like grass-fed food, right? Grass-fed cattle, grass-fed chicken, grass-fed beef. It take time. They gotta graze that grass. It take time. They're not grain-fed. They're not vegetarian-fed, GMO-fed. They're not being pumped up with a whole bunch of corn and a whole bunch of meals and all them different things. They're eating natural, so it take a little longer, but you're gonna get that quality. Right, y'all in that weight room, rep after rep. Squeeze that muscle, lower that weight. Squeeze that muscle, lower that weight, pace yourself. Don't be swinging that weight. When you trying to get that weight up, don't be bouncing them knees. Come on, man. You on that bench, man. Don't be looking like you about to fly off that bench like you trying to jump just to get that bar up. Keep that back straight. Straight down, flat on that bench. And take your time, push that weight up. Show me that strength, show me that power. A man that know how to sit still, he got a lot of power. When a man know how to sit still with himself, a man knows how to pace himself, that man, he got power. You gotta move with that power. Every time you see a man speeding up like it's the end of the world, this man too frantic. This man can't make rational decisions. This man too emotional. And I know a lot of y'all looking for set-apart wives, right? To have a set-apart wife, man, you definitely got to know how to handle the situation. Because when you faced with certain conflicts, you're going to know how to give some direction, real calm. You don't need to run up and do 1,000 things in 1 second. You got to pace yourself and calculate what it is you about to do. And with this walk, you need to be calculated. Can't be in your emotions all the time. Better start pacing yourself. And if you're pacing yourself, you know what I'm talking about. For real. Remember, fellas, I know y'all want a steady increase in that strength. If you want that steady increase, don't burn yourself out. Take your time, gradually increase the pressure in whatever avenue you're trying to build up on. Take your time, get that recovery, all right? The body registers things much different than the mind. Always remember that. When the body is right, the mind could follow. But if you taxing the mind too, the body is going to be taxed as well too. So stop wasting your time, right? Stop wasting your time looking at foolishness, because that's going to make your body lazy, right? That's not going to make you want to do much. When you flooding yourself with idiotic things, that's you stripping dopamine. When you stripping dopamine, that lead to flatlines, right? When you overworking yourself, that could lead to flatlines too. So you gotta pay attention to what it is that you're doing. Spend your time doing things proper, all right? I hope you've been edified. Shalom Aleichem. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah through his son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother UncleK. I appreciate y'all for tapping into another one. Like, share, comment down below, and if you're not a supporter, become a supporter right now. I just advise you to tell a friend. Continue to have a Baruch day. Keep a sound mind and a sound heart. And I'll see you soon, Most High willing. But for now, peace.